Ken, the question to you.
Well, let's be perfectly clear. The natural gas drilling is here in Pennsylvania, and it's not going away. Now, listen, it could either be the greatest asset for Pennsylvania and the greatest thing that has ever happened to this Commonwealth, or it could be a repeat of the anthracite coal era. And God forbid that should happen. We still to this day see the scars of anthracite coal. Go around the region, go to the river, see the acid coming out from the water. These are sins of the past. Listen, here's how we prevent that. Proper oversight. We as people of Pennsylvania have to be stewards of our environment, but also we have to expand the oversight of DEP. DEP. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, DEP has took a tremendous, they took a tremendous hit in this Commonwealth. Natural gas is here. It's not going away. We have to increase funding for DEP, and how do you do that? Severance tax, but I won't go into that because I know that's a question coming. Thank you.
Lee, the question to you. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Rebuttal.
Well, the only rebuttal I have to that is look to the residents in Dimick and see just how they were protected. It just didn't happen, and I can't understand why the legislature allowed anyone to drill until everything was where it had to be and everybody was protected.
Okay. The next question on the severance tax. Do you support or oppose a severance tax? And if so, what do you think is the appropriate rate? Apparently 10% was not the appropriate rate because that did not make it through. The bill did not make it through. But what do you believe is the appropriate rate, and why do you support or oppose a severance tax? And the first question, I'm sorry, goes to you, Ken.
Thank you. I support a severance tax. I voted for a severance tax, 7.3%. 7.3%. Now, what does that give us? That gives us the proper oversight for DEP. That gives us local share to reinvest into the towns to which they're drilling, into the roads and the bridges and the infrastructure. It also allows us to put dollars away for future environmental concerns, like we didn't do during anthracite coal. We were left to pay for that. So we put money away in case of a catastrophic problem. And it also puts money back into the general fund, which will help. So I support it. Unfortunately, the House Republicans and the Senate Republicans wanted a 1.5% severance tax, which does not allow us to expand DEP. It doesn't allow us to put money back into our cities, and therefore we will not be stewards of the environment for years to come.
Lee, the question to you.
My answer is really simple, and I don't see this as an issue between Democrats and Republicans. I see this as an issue that all the residents of this Commonwealth are entitled to a share of this money because the gas is owned by the Commonwealth. And I think that the tax should be 15%. I think that this gas isn't going anywhere. I think it's extremely valuable. I just think that we're in an energy crunch here. And I just think that, to talk about 1.5% or 8% is unrealistic. I just think that we have a Commonwealth that has pension problems, just a lack of revenue. I think that this 15% should be captured and put in a trust until we can take the budget apart line item by line item and begin to make the changes necessary in the Commonwealth that have to be made.
Ken, any rebuttal?
Just that 15% is unrealistic. I believe 7.5% is the highest in the nation. We would be at 7.3%. Listen, gas companies are here. They're not, like I said, they're for profit. We have to have proper oversight, but they have to make money. They have to meet payrolls too. 15%, not realistic.
Thank you. I want to stay somewhat with the topic of environment, but also include jobs in this one. And the question that I have for you is, What should state government do differently to encourage the use of alternative fuel sources and to bring jobs in this growing industry into our area? And Lee, the first response is yours.
Well, I just think that the best solution to that situation is to start creating small business incubators with a stated goal of green technology. I just think that we need to roll out engineers that's whole purpose is to create a whole new type of technology. I think President Obama talked about green technology. I think it's a technology for the future, whether it's soy-based diesel fuel or whether it's new types of lighting that uses less energy or new ways to generate energy, whether it's wind or solar. And I just think we need to start creating new technologies. And I just think for too long America has not took the initiative to use their engineering students in a way like we did it during the space race when we really proved what we could do with our engineering students. And I just think that we have a bright future and we have to allow the people we educate in higher education to start leading the way for us with new ideas.
Ken, the question to you.
Andrea, can you repeat that? I just want to make sure I heard that properly.
What should state government do differently to encourage the use of alternative fuel sources and to bring jobs in this growing industry to our area?
Well, what we need to do is, once again, become business friendly. We have to offer tax credits to these green companies to come in and be innovative. We have to have job creation, job training, which starts in the middle schools, so that kids can start to look to these energy jobs and the sciences, and so that once they're finished with high school, they know exactly where they're going, whether it be a technical job or onto a 4-year degree like the University of Scranton. But we have to have the incentives, and we have to be attractive for these companies to come to Pennsylvania. We've taken the steps, but we still have a long way to go. It's a new energy. This is a new opportunity for us in Pennsylvania, and we have to be out in the forefront.
Lee, anything to add?
I'd just like to add that I think that an awful lot of college students don't even know what they want to pursue when they get to college and they change their major. And all I could say is what we need secondary education that actually excels to give them the framework to go into higher education and change their major and be successful.
Well, Lee, thanks for bringing up education because that's our next topic this evening. This next question, I'm going to ask you 4 questions individually that pertain to education. This piece is not higher ed. This is secondary and elementary education. And I'm going to ask you at first simply to answer the questions with a yes or no. And then after we move through that round, then I'll allow you the 2 minutes to expand on your answers. But we want yes or no answers to these next 4 questions. And Ken, you're going to answer each one of these 4 questions first. So, again, this topic is education. And the first question to you, Ken, is should the cost for charter schools to school districts be the same across the Commonwealth? And that's a yes or no.
Repeat that question.
Should the cost for charter schools to school districts be the same across the Commonwealth? So from district to district, should each district be paying the same for charter schools?
Yes.
Lee?
No.
The next question, is 36% of the cost of educating a student enough of a share from the state? Ken, the answer to you.
No.
Lee?
Yes.
Do you support merit pay for teachers? Ken?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
And the last question in this round, is property tax the best way to fund elementary and secondary public education? And that's to Ken.
Right now, yes.
And Lee?
No.